Guys, so this video is really special. So a lot of readers after reading my book came up to me with a bunch of questions about my writing process, about the way I frame my characters, about how the storyline was brought on, about how many people helped me write this book. So I thought I'll answer all your questions in this reader question answer video. So let's go. Okay, so the thing about this book is that none of the incidents or none of the events that happened in this book are anything that I experienced in real life. Whether we talk about the sibling love between Samantha and Samiksha, or the whole relationship between Akash and Samantha, or the whole mother in law thing, or the whole boss thing, or even the everything in the book, because if I keep on telling you things then it'll be like a spoiler to the story. So any event that you take is not something that I've experienced in real life. And I also, to be totally honest, didn't ask many people about, is this exactly like this, am I writing the truth? So I just went on with my gut feeling about what I think it feels like. And a lot of people have told me it sounds realistic, so brownie points for me then. So yeah, that was just me fumbling my way through the dark through this entire book. So I don't know, man. I just went along with my gut feeling, and then just the book just came out. So yeah. So Samiksha came about because Samantha was this level-headed and always, peaceful kind of person who doesn't get stressed out by situations, and I needed to balance that out by having a very wild and free spirited sister. So that's how it came out, and I wanted at least one of the main characters to have a sibling, and a sibling that shows a little bit of contrast between them. So yeah, and I don't know if it stems from the desire to always have a sibling. I don't know, it's weird. The thing about this video is that your reader questions makes me want to analyze my book more than I already did. So oh my god. So my parents had a huge role to play in this book, because I didn't have to persuade them, I didn't have to beg them to publish it. They felt really proud doing it themselves, so I never had to face that kind of an issue. They are always been supportive of all my endeavors, whether it was writing, whether it was reading, whether it was painting. So every time I decide to do something creatively, they would be there to support me through it. And the biggest role comes from my dad, because when I was young, there used to be these essay writing competitions. There used to be these, poetry writing competitions. Each time I used to write one draft, he used to check it out. Wherever, I had made grammatical errors or spelling mistakes, he used to correct me. He used to be very strict. He used to tell me, how could you make such a mistake? And I used to be so afraid of showing it to him, because if he points out a mistake, I feel really bad, because that used to be a matter of pride for me to present something that is absolutely error free, something that my father likes in the very first draft. So he was the one who made me feel like a perfectionist, made me want to put my best foot forward in every endeavor. And because writing was also something that my dad is also really passionate about, so it just seemed like a logical step to publish my book, get it out in the open, and just see how it goes. So huge thank yous due to my parents. So coming to the printing process, it was great. Notion Press helped us through all the stages. So there was editing, and then there was again reworking on it. There was typesetting, there was deciding the cover files, and then there was finally publishing the book, deciding the cost, and then putting it out on all, so web platforms. So they helped us through everything. It took time, it took a little while to come out, but then I'm really happy with how the end product looked like, and yeah, it was a great experience working with them. So this was something I had spoken about in my old Instagram post way before I wrote the book. So it was that you never know how hard something is until you actually do it. It's more about you never know the nuances of any activity before you do it. Like before you shoot a short film, you would not have noticed the camera angles, the lighting, or anything when you watch a movie. But after that short film that you've shot, every movie you watch, you start focusing more on, okay, the editor has done this, he's moved from this frame to that frame, things like that. You start noticing the little details. Same goes with writing. I learned a lot about punctuation, about how to align my words, and about how big paras do you need to keep the reader still engaged, whether you gotta keep it in dialogue or whether you can keep explaining. So a lot of things I'd learned. And another con of this is that I started looking at every book that I read with an editor's perspective. So the mistakes that I didn't used to see before now, are looking at me, they're glaring errors. So I'm not able to read books without looking at them from what would I have written, what would I have done kind of perspective. So yeah, that kind of takes away from the fun of reading books. But I'll still keep reading because that's all research material. So yeah, so it's been a real nice experience writing my book. To be completely honest, I've not put too much cringy romance into my book. Usually, the conversations are also, fun banter between couples. So, no, I didn't cringe much during the romantic parts. I've tried to keep that to a bare minimum. You would be surprised about the number of people who asked me this, and no, I actually didn't put any thought into my characters' names. Like, I started writing and I was like, yeah, this is the name I want to put to him, I'll just do it. That's all I did. I never, Googled names or researched, unique names, new names. No, I didn't. I just thought Akash and Samantha would be a nice, cute name. And Samiksha just followed Samantha, and yeah, the rest of the characters also I just named randomly. Never put too much thought into it. Are you supposed to? I don't know. That would be a really hard question for me because while writing the book, I realized that I had put pieces of myself into Akash, into Samantha, into Samiksha, and pieces of the people I saw around me into the other characters also. So both Akash and Samantha have many qualities that are mine too. So I think I relate to both of them equally. Yeah, so another fact that you all might know is that I wrote this book when I was in class 12, which is for most people in class 12 the most stressful thing in their life at that point. But the lockdown happened this year, and which that afforded me a lot of time to, express myself creatively, and this book was just a product of that. And I'm so thankful to the lockdown because if not for that, I would never have been able to write this book. This one's in continuation with the previous question, and I'm currently also finding it a little difficult to get back to writing because school started and everything. So, yeah, there has been a little longer break than I had expected, but hoping to get back to it soon because it gives me so much happiness to write. I mean, one day if I write one paragraph, I feel so happy. I feel like I've done something today. Today's day has been worthwhile, so definitely getting back to writing. Even though this question doesn't directly pertain to my book, I thought let you all get to know me better. I don't know what's happening to me. So, my other interests include reading, obviously, and my newest hobby is painting because for the longest time I thought I couldn't paint. I didn't have that artistic skills, and then suddenly I got expensive supplies, and then I started painting. So that's the key. You get expensive supplies for anything, and that motivates you to do it, and you get better at it. That is the key. And my other hobbies include singing, dancing, and I do a bunch of other things. Maybe I'll do a what all do I do video sometime. I felt it was necessary to answer this question after the connect video that I made. So I'm surprised by the number of people who thought it was because of the feedback I received about this book, and no, it wasn't. It was related to something completely different. And most of the feedback that I have received has been largely positive, and especially when it comes to my writing style or my language. And a lot of people have told me the story seems realistic, so because I've not experienced anything, that in itself is a great thing for me to be able to write about things I've not experienced. Maybe I could be a fantasy author. And yeah, so most people have really nice things to say. They tell me, the storyline's a little different. It doesn't have a very cliched ending or something. So a lot of people had nice things to say, and I'm really happy about the way it panned out. The audience that I expected gave me the exact feedback that I did expect. So yeah, good job, audience. Yes, so my second book will be coming out soon. I'm not revealing anything, so stay tuned. Thank you for watching this video. Do like, share, and subscribe.